Hey everybody, hope your day is going well. We are back with another reaction. We're going to check out To Beat the Devil by Kristofferson. It's been a while since I reacted to his music and I had to get back to it. And a lot of people recommended this song. So here we go. Let's have a listen.
A couple of years back, I come across a great and wasted friend of mine in the hallway of a recording studio. And while he was reciting some poetry to me that he'd written, I saw that he was about a step away from dying, and I couldn't help but wonder why. And the lines of this song occurred to me. I'm happy to say he's no longer wasted, and he's got him a good woman.
Mm.
And I'd like to dedicate this to John and June, who helped show me how to beat the devil.
Oh, so he's talking about Johnny Cash and June Carter. Wow, yeah, I reacted to his song Sunday Morning Come Down. Uh, it's just incredible, and very relatable as somebody who's in recovery himself. Yeah, woo, to beat the devil, that type of devil. Okay, all right.
Beat
His
the devil.
speaking voice is already, it's a great actor too. Rest in peace.
It was wintertime in Nashville, down on Music City Road. And I was looking for a place to get myself out of the cold, to warm the frozen feeling that was eating at my soul, keep the chilly wind off my guitar. My thirsty wanted whiskey, my hungry needed beans. But it'd been a month of payday since I'd heard that eagle scream. So with a stomach full of empty and a pocket full of dreams, I left my pride and stepped inside a bar. Actually, I guess you'd call it a tavern. Cigarette smoke to the ceiling and sawdust on the floor.
He's painting a picture.
Friendly shadows. I saw that there was just one old man sitting at the bar. And in the mirror I could see him checking me and my guitar. And he turned and said, "Come up here, boy, and show us what you are." I said, "I'm dry." And he bought me a beer.
Ugh, dude, that's no
He
good.
nodded at my guitar and said, "It's a tough life, ain't it?" I just looked at him. He said, "You ain't making any money, are you?" I said, "You've been reading my mail." He just smiled and said, "Let me see that guitar. I got something you ought to hear." Then he laid it on me. If you waste your time talking to the people who don't listen to the things that you are saying, who do you think's gonna hear? And if you should die explaining how the things that they complain about are things they could be changing, who do you think's gonna care? There were other lonely singers in a world turned deaf and blind, who were crucified for what they tried to show. And their voices have been scattered by the swirling winds of time, 'cause the truth remains that no one wants to know.
Wow. Wow. No one wants to know. He's referencing Christ, of course, people who have been crucified. I love he switched up to his singing voice, but his speaking voice is so powerful. The narration, a little bit of singing in it already, just in the way some people can speak, right? You just hear them and you're already drawn to him and how they speak, and it already sounds like song, even when they're just speaking. Uh, but yeah, that picture that he was painting about being down on his luck and no payday, the eagle. It's been a long time since I heard him screaming, which I guess is a reference to the dollar because there's an eagle on it, right? He's in Nashville. I know Nashville is kind of known for the music scene, isn't it? I'm not from the U.S., but he said it's cold and I want to get away from the cold. Does it get cold in winter in Nashville? I don't know the climate because I know there's parts of the country that doesn't get cold, and some it gets really cold. That's I don't know there, but it kind of feels like he's also talking about the metaphorical cold of his soul and just feeling so down on his luck and you know a little bit of desperation there. Uh, and the old man, the stranger that is singing, he's kind of saying like, "Hey, why bother even trying?" Right? He already said, "Hey, I'm dry." He still bought him a beer, so it's basically the devil then, right? Because who else would do that? uh, a devilish person or the devil himself. Uh, he said, how did he say it? Because it was a complicated. If you waste your time talking to the people who don't listen to the things that you are saying, who do you think is going to hear? It's almost a very complicated way of saying nobody's going to listen. So why even bother? Or why? Who do you think is going to care? Nobody, right? That's the implication here. Uh, so even Christ died for nothing. Basically, he's saying. Uh, Nobody wants to know, really. Oof, that's dark.
Well, the old man was a stranger, but I'd heard his song before. Back when failure had me locked out on the wrong side of the door. When no one stood behind me but my shadow on the floor. And lonesome was more than a state of mind. You see, the devil haunts a hungry man. If you don't want to join him, you gotta beat him. I ain't saying I beat the devil, but I drank his beer for nothing. Then I stole his song. And you still can hear me singing to the people who don't listen to the things that I am saying, praying someone's gonna hear. And I guess I'll die explaining how the things that they complain about are things they could change, hoping someone's gonna care. I was born a lonely singer, and I'm bound to die the same. But I've gotta feed the hunger in my soul. And if I never have a nickel, I won't ever die ashamed, 'cause I don't believe that no one wants to know.
Genius. Fantastic writing. The punchline there, basically, or the plot twist or the conclusion, the reveal. You know, you can see this like the old man in the mirror. I've been here before because he's talking to himself. The devil within himself, is doing that again. I've been here before. You could just imagine it being a conversation with the actual devil. But the thing is, like, the devil haunts a hungry man, right? Um, and all the things that he was saying before, and the where he was singing about nobody's gonna care. It's when you get older, you get cynical, and that is basically surviving, right? You get the cynicism wins. The devil sells cynicism, and he's saying like, don't why even bother? And that's the internal voice that we sometimes, we have these internal conversations, like, why do I even bother trying? And it's not going to work anyway. And nobody's listening to me and all of that. Um, yeah. And then he's saying, like, if you want to join, if you don't want to join him, beat him. But I'm not saying I beat the devil. He basically outsmarted him. I drank his beer for nothing, so I experienced all that pain. But then I stole his song. Dang, that's good. Basically saying, I turn my pain into song or into story, and kind of turn it into art, right? Mm, that's how you do it. That's how you beat it or outsmart him. Because now I'm singing his song. So thank you for the experience. It was dark, but I'm grateful for it, and I'm gonna make art about it, and I'm gonna sing about it. That's how you do it. Not to toot my own horn too much, but I did, when I got sober. I kind of, was writing during relapses as well, but I kind of turned my pain into a trilogy of books. Uh, Writing fiction, but, kind of giving the main character my addictions and demons a little bit to explore it that way in a fictional setting. they're not available in English anyway. So hope to translate them one day. But like that's the gist of it, right? Beautiful, man. Wow, fantastic. I was born a lonely singer, and I'm bound to die the same. Well, Mr. Kristofferson, you can't. Jeez, you gave us a gift, man. Wow. Looking forward to explore more of his music. Fantastic songwriting, and I got to catch up on some more films as well. So all recommendations are welcome. Thank you for spending some time with me. Hope to see you in another one. Goodbye.